Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you being here. A lot of you have had a great week. It's good to have you. We're here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock prior to the corporate call that will happen right after our special event tonight. I'm excited about tonight, what you're going to have the opportunity to hear. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from a real sales professional. I got a couple of things I want to cover. First, the outreach Zoom happens every day, Tuesday through Friday. It's just a powwow. People get on usually before they're getting ready to go into the market. And it's good. It's a lot of good questions, a lot of good feedback. Alan Knight handles that, does a phenomenal job. And it's just solid insights. This week was really, really good. And it is every week, but just a lot of good questions, a lot of good feedback. If you haven't been on there, it's worth getting on and just checking out what's going on there. I believe that personal accountability is real important. I always have been. I believe you can't improve and get better till you track your numbers. All leaders are accountable to themselves. So we like to recognize our top producers every single week. This week, number 6 was Catherine Collette. She's up in Cincinnati working with Dave Trility, doing a phenomenal job. Bobby's out there every day, getting it done every single week, doing his thing. He's in Texas. Scott's doing a great job down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Just every week on this leaderboard for our team and just very consistent, making it happen. Dave Buchanan, Steady Dave, number 3 this week, doing a great job in Florida. Eugene Allen on the leaderboard almost every single week, also doing a phenomenal job. He's also in Florida, and no surprise, literally living legends in the ERC world. Gordy and Kelly Alderson at the top again this week, just got referrals dialed in, and the work ethic and the partnership. They're just doing a phenomenal job. Literally living legends. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do some announcements and reminders real quickly. Then we're going to hear from Mr. Roy. That will be a treat for all of us. Then I have a very special announcement that I'm very excited about that I think will make a huge impact for a lot of you. I think some of you that are with us tonight live or even watching the recording tomorrow will remember tonight from now on. This can be a turning point for many of you. And then we'll take questions and comments before the corporate call. I didn't put the slide in on the corporate call. That happens right after our call. They start at 9 o'clock. Most of you know how to log in there. Somebody can put it in the chat, or we disable chat, but somebody can share that when we're done. If you saw the Facebook survey, please respond to that. We will be doing a team cruise, probably January 2024. We're still working on some dates. We got a lot of logistics, a lot of things, but we've started the process, and really looking forward to that event, just to go and celebrate as a team together and spend some time and get to know each other a little bit better. So that's coming, and please complete the survey. It is on our private Facebook page. Tonight, I would just say, please try to get in the habit of using the tools. If you say it, they doubt it. If I say it, they doubt it. If somebody else says it, or they see it on a random video, or read it on a website, they believe it. It's just kind of human nature. Third-party documentation is extremely important as part of the recruiting process if you're building a team, but also part of the sales process. And I believe most people, the more you know, the more you can answer, the less you rely on third-party tools, and you can do yourself a disservice. Today, I think it was today, one day this week on the team Zooms, you know, Kamala was talking about, she's put together a book that has testimonies from the different industries Bottom Line serves. Some of you know in the past and different things we've done, we've had laminated sheets. So if you know, when we were doing the loot boxes, you walk into a Mexican restaurant, and you could show them a laminated sheet of all the Mexican restaurants that were using the product. So third-party validation is something that we should not be overlooking. And I'm just going to share a couple of things with you tonight, just to remind you. You can go back, obviously, and get these URLs, but I just wanted to share these with you because they're all very valuable. And again, sometimes we forget that we have them. Personally, I believe if you walk into a business and you have the owner's curiosity, pulling up this particular video right here and sharing it with them, just handing your phone, push play and hand them your phone and walk away and look at their merchandise while they're watching it and come back and say, are you ready to schedule a call? It's hard to beat that approach. It really is. Some of you are so skilled you don't rely on that video, but that video is a great video and it will get the right person's attention. Again, third-party credibility. Anybody that you're showing the business to, this is a great video. This has sponsored several people since we released it. I don't know, maybe a week or two ago. People that are already in the ERC world, when they see this video, it speaks to them because we talk. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had, and the first thing they want to know is about the gas money, because nobody else is getting that, and they understand the value of that. And then the second thing they say, you guys can really write businesses that have less than 5 employees? Yes. And if you want to recruit, there's easy ways to find the competition. And if they see this, it really is a better mousetrap, and you'll recruit some people. This company will not leave me alone. I don't know about you guys. I haven't made this video public. I won't until they're out of business. But every day I get pitched on this, and I just turn around and send out this video. For private schools, for Christian schools, we have custom videos. Again, can be used in your Play 1 or your Play 2. This video has done us all a lot of good. A lot of people are using this right after the initial call. How'd your call go? And send this video. It's working really well. If you're focused on plumbers, this video is good for plumbers. And if you're talking to a CPA about joining your team, you can use this one. So again, I just wanted to remind you guys of the tools that we have, because a lot of times I'm talking to people and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that video. Oh yeah, I need to be using that more. So I just wanted to give you that reminder tonight. Y'all have heard me say 1,000 times, and I believe it. I've lived my life by it. Team, together, everybody achieves more. Lone wolves have a problem, have challenges that they don't think they'll have, but they do, especially if you're building a volunteer army, a team that cannot be fired, that are here because they want to be here. Then you have to really rely on the team, the culture of the team. It's just critically important. And it's not just as it relates to building a business, it's in all aspects of life. I mean, I want to support people in everything they do. It's like when I talk to Dave Buchanan and he's telling me about his grandkids and how they won in the volleyball game, his granddaughters, I love that. I'm going to cheer for his team. I know all of you are cheering for the Kentucky Wildcats during basketball season. At least you better be, because that's grounds for termination. But you know what I'm saying? It's all of it's team, and it's supporting people when people need support, and we've had some people that have gone through some real health challenges this year. And a lot of us have kept those people in our thoughts and prayers. And that's important. And here's just a really good example. You guys haven't heard about this, but you will. Kamisha is one of my favorite people in the world. She's getting ready. She's going to be in a contest. I don't have all the details, but she may be featured in this magazine. And you all know she's a workout fiend. She's at it. She believes in it. She's all about it. And I just got an email from her this week where she's in some type of contest. If we can vote for her, and I'm sure we probably will be able to, just look out for that kind of announcement. you know, and it's, again, supporting each other. Bernadette's son wrote a book on positive thinking with one of our team members helping, who's also a publisher. And, you know, we're going to buy the book. I think we already have. So again, it's not just about business, guys. And it's not. There's a lot more here. I'm going to ask this one more time. I'm not going to try not to mention this ever again. If you see a YouTube video on YouTube, on the YouTube platform, every time you give it just a checkup or an authentic comment on any social media platform, or if you see other team members posting promotions, just giving them a thumbs up. Any videos that we put out there, just supporting each other that way with a thumbs up or a comment goes a long, long way in the algorithms. If you click yes on somebody's LinkedIn post, it keeps it moving up and in front. So we gotta all get smarter and help each other more there. I'm just gonna say this like this. I'm still waiting for my CPA told me I didn't qualify videos. I'm still waiting. That's all I'm gonna say. Always post your success. Here's just an example. Our special guest, I pulled this from our Facebook page, but he had said, I just made 2 appointments for 2 different companies, 34 full-time W-2s and 35 full-time W-2s. I needed them since I had a dry spell. Everybody goes through a dry spell. But oh, that does feel good. Thanks. Put your successes out there. Here's the only people that I'm giving a break on this. If you're in the top 25 in this company, and I know several of you are, I understand how busy and how busy you get. And maybe you know, it's like if Gordy and Kelly are booking 2 or 3 or 4 calls a day. But did you guys see they did take the time this week to put out one that they got this week? And I don't know how many they ended up with, but y'all remember probably seeing this because I asked them, hey, please get that one on Facebook. Why? It was 350 W-2s. It's going to pay them about 6 figures, the one deal, a minimum of 6 figures. You guys need to hear that, because if that doesn't fire you up, your wood's wet. I mean, really. So, but I love to see new people that are doing their first deal, their second deal, their third deal. So continue to post it up there. And people say, well, Dale, I feel like I'm bragging. No, you're not bragging. You're inspiring. You're inspiring the right people. If people feel like you're bragging, they're the wrong people. They're not going to last on this team very long anyway. So put it up there. Put it out there. That's all I wanted to say. We're going to do an interview with Mr. Roy here. I'm sure he's going to share some great insights. And then we're going to come back and we'll make a special announcment. After the special announcement, we'll take questions. So our special guest tonight, you all have seen him on Facebook. He's been on our CMG team a couple of months. You know, he went through an evaluation stage, and you know, already in a couple of months, he's already done enough calls to get to 6 figures in potential earnings. I mean, right now, just in his first couple of months. He was actually sponsored by Alan Knight, and Alan was real excited when he sponsored, and he's kind of kept me in the loop. And again, you guys have seen his posts on Facebook. He's here every week. He's out there every week making it happen. And he's got an unbelievable, extensive sales management, sales background. I think I said in the promotion that we sent out for this, if you look up sales professional in the dictionary, you'd probably see his picture. He's taught sales and marketing at a couple of different colleges in California, but he's never been involved in network marketing, ever. And we're just thankful to have him with us. I'm not going to butcher his last name, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Roy. But Mr. Roy, welcome to the call. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you, folks. And excuse me, yesterday I caught the flu. My wife gave it to me. So if I look a little red and sound a little hoarse, that's what's happening. But again, thank you for the invite.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time. We sincerely do. So, well, let's just start out. Just tell us, how did you find IHub Global? How did you end up here?
You know, I am a non-MLM guy, and I've never really done it. It's not my skill set nor interest, but I got a guy who introduced me to it years ago. His name is Alan Knight. And we went to Starbucks in Sacramento, Northern California. And Alan, I see you're on there. I don't know if you remember, we went to Starbucks and he made the best pitch that I've ever heard. He had a PowerPoint. He walked through the program. He asked me a few questions and he closed. And he was disappointed because he didn't sell me. And that's okay. The reason it's okay is down the road, I would do something with him, right? And that's what selling is all about. It's about presenting and waiting for the right time, right place. For those who know Alan, he's intense. I made some notes. He's intense. And if you don't know what I mean, he's really intense. I heard the comment, he likes to win. He's a friendly guy, but he's all business. It's about the PowerPoint and the presentation, right? So he's a great guy. Here's the other thing. The reason I went with Alan is that I had another guy at IHub, no one on this team, that told me about it. And the conversation was a presentation, high level, all verbal, no information. And in his presentation, he was telling me he wanted to do 30 folks wide, and then he was going to have them sell for him. But he never made the deal. He never sold anything. And I go, that stinks. How do you know anything, right? So I spoke to Alan because I picked up the phone and I said, hey, are you doing this? What is this? Tell me about it, right? And Alan explained it. He told me the advantages of it. He sold Dale and this team concept, which is important because you guys, you want to jumpstart your business, and this is the way to do it. And Alan was professional. He didn't use a one-call close. He didn't slam me. He didn't push me for a sign-up. He left me alone, but he kept sending me information. And it was more like bits and pieces, the comp and some of the other items, right? And I thought, okay, well, I'll look, because I was interested, but I wasn't convinced. I signed up with Alan. Awesome. Alan didn't have to close me because he's already done that. I signed up with Alan. And I got to be honest, I've missed one or two of these calls, and I didn't do anything for a couple of weeks because I wasn't sold yet. I wasn't really sure. And I'm going to refer to this analysis by paralysis. It's just my background. It's just who I am. I doubt things. Well, Alan overcame that, and I was on this conversation, and I was listening to you guys talk about making a deal, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I don't sell anything. I just present it, and if it goes, it goes. So my first deal was a 180 unit deal. I call it 180. It was a 100-unit deal, and he had a second business, which was 80. I think it was 40 because there were 80 part-timers or something in there. And Josh is working on both of those. So it went. I mean, it's my first big deal. My attitude is easy, guys. I go out there, I talk about it, and I throw whatever I can. One call close, two call close. That's okay. If the guy says, I don't want it, fine. I don't care. That's up to him. And I move on to the next guy. And that's my strategy. It's not unique. It doesn't reflect MBA thinking. It's just go out and have some fun, work off the old age weight, and just enjoy it. And that's my game plan.
Awesome. Awesome. So did you actually see a promotion that Alan had done on LinkedIn, and then that kind of triggered the
Yep, he's linked in with me. And then I bugged him and chased him down. And Alan, I see you there. And, you know, we haven't kept in touch. It was 2018, 2019, but I always liked him. I didn't know he moved down to LA or Irvine. And, you know, so I talked to him. I called him and I says, where are you? right? Because I haven't seen him around. And he gave me the facts. And by the way, again, he sold this team. He
Yeah.
sold this team because this is the structure and foundation you need. You need that in a new business.
Yeah. You could be doing any kind of sales. You could be working anywhere with your background, heading up any sales team. Why
I don't,
IHub Global?
well, I'm not really sure I want to. One, I'm going to be 68. I lost 26 pounds. I weight lift. I'm not going to do any contests or nothing like that. I do a lot of walking, and health is a priority for me because of age, right? I'm a caretaker for a mother that's 93 and she needs a lot help. And my wife's dad, father-in-law, not stepfather, father-in-law is 94. So I need this gig because it's fun, it's flexible. I don't have any boss. I do whatever I want. And by the way, for many years, I've been selling businesses. I know how to do a business valuation. I know how to look at a business and can tell you what's good or bad about it. I look at the taxes. I basically know those things. And I got to tell you, hey, Gordy, if you ever made $1 million, you'd have to buy a company that's worth about $3 million or more to make what you're making now. So yeah, if you guys want to know that, it's a 1 to 3 multiplier on sellers' discretionary earnings, right? So this is it, man. You're crazy not to do this. Don't go buy another business. This is what you have to do right now.
Cool, cool. You've been really plugged in from the beginning. You've been participating in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
You're here every Thursday. Obviously, you think that's an important part of success. Well, you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, it is. You got to be humble. You guys, I was married in college. My wife and I had Joe in our senior year, bought a house when I was in college, and this is in the 70s, guys. And I just plugged it in. I thought education was good. So I went and got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and I was a PhD candidate working on a doctorate. And, I thought, hey, more is better. Why not? Right. I was burning myself up and I was doing startup stuff, right, for high-tech companies and building teams. Well, here's what I've learned. Knowledge is very important. If you want a shortcut, there is no shortcut, you guys. There's just secrets to it. And if you can get someone's tip on how to make something happen quicker, try it, take it out, and then evaluate it. If it doesn't work, change it, modify it. And that's what I've seen on these calls. I've got Gordy, I've got Dave Johnston. And Dave, you're crazy. I see that you're driving around and you're sleeping in your car to go cold calling. I respect you, dude. I see Dale, you're on there. Tony, got you on there. And Philip, I want to thank you for your help. You don't get a Philip in any other organization.
That's right.
You guys all answer the questions that I throw out there. And that's a shortcut for me.
Awesome. Awesome. I know you took some time. You really sold yourself on ERC. You sold yourself on iHub, this team. And I think some people get involved here and they immediately want to go start talking to people and they don't take the time to sell themselves first. How important is that, in your opinion, with your background, for people to sell themselves first?
I heard things like confidence and wasn't sure. And, someone was looking at me and wasn't sure, what they thought about me or if I was convincing enough. And immediately, and I think a gentleman on the call last week had mentioned that. And when you start stuttering, or when you can't look at the guy eye to eye and you can't talk about it, it means you either don't know the service or the product that we represent, and you're not confident in yourself. And you guys, if you're not confident in yourself, before you go out, look in the mirror and do that. Cold call, have your wife with you, have a partner, have a buddy, hire a coach, whatever, and have them go with you. And just spend an hour, right? And go out. And if you can't get anything done, pick up cards. Pick up cards so you can build a database and go back at them later, right? And I'm a face-to-face guy. I like this because my cold calling on the phone, it's not brilliant. I skip words. I stutter. I want to sound like a genius, but it never comes out, right? I like cold calling door to door. That's my secret. because I'm connecting with you and I want to help your business. I want to help you. And it shows. That's my game plan.
Awesome, awesome. I think if I remember correctly, like the most recent deal I saw I think that came through was for 50 W-2s.
Yep.
Does that sound
That
familiar?
was Monday. The guy called me because I called him and left him a voicemail. He's in Mexico, Cancun, on vacation. And I didn't say a whole lot. I just said, hey, I want to save you some money, man. Hey, this is Roy. We talked a couple of years ago, right? And he called me from Mexico. And he goes, who is this? And I called him and I talked to him and I explained it to him. He goes, what? And I says, hey, look, I want to schedule a call for you Monday, okay? I'm going to call you Monday before that call to remind you. He's got 50 employees, and I know he's got a $250,000 loan. He's got some other expenses. And I basically told him, hey, look, man, you get to write it off. You're going to get the money. It's already paid for, right? Just do it. So, and that's my presentation, guys. We don't sell anything. We just tell them, if you want it, you got it. If you don't, hey, no problem. That's your money, not mine.
You're doing them a favor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, in my old worlds, I was selling telecom. I wasn't selling it. I mean, as a kid, I did. I sold energy management, telecom, some software, and I built teams. So if you don't know how to sell that product or service, your team isn't going to believe in you. You can't make any decisions about pricing, distribution channels, or anything. So you got to go out and get dirty. And if I ever build a team here, it's going to be after I sell it, because they're going to call me and ask for help. I'm not going to go, I'm billing 30 people wide and I'm going to have them sell for me so I can make lots of money, but I've never made a deal.
Right.
That's not the way you do it. I don't believe in that.
No, none of us here do either. I promise you. You talked about analyze till you're paralyzed, and people go through that. That's customers, but it's also salespeople. Team members that I'm going to get on the field. No, I'm not going to get on the field. I'll get on the field next week. You just want to speak to that from customers or team members?
Yeah, have you ever had that guy look at you real weird? Like, I got a guy right here. No, not interested. Had his PPP. He's got 7 folks. He listened to me, but he didn't do it. And I go, really? Why? He knows about it. Scam, whatever. Scam? No way. And then I told him, look, I do business valuation. This is going to hit your bottom line. It's going to do you a favor, right? Didn't want to do it. I said, fine. I sent him an email. Sorry you didn't want to do this. I'll drop in the future and talk to you. He's my first guy. But by the way, I'm not going to waste too much time on a guy with 7 employees. Right. I got the big guy I want, but I'm going to do it. And let me tell you why I did that. Practice. When I go out, I get chicken like the rest of us. I go, oh my gosh, I'm a genius. They're going to see this old man. People don't cold call like in the 70s and the 80s, right? Remember the old Xerox days, IBM, right? We don't do that. So they see an old man walking through the door and I go, hey, good morning, right? And I talk about this and they're surprised and they like that. They're not getting people walking through the doors. They can ask the question and I can give them an answer. That's a one-call close. If they like what I have to say, I get on there and I schedule an appointment, right? So, that's what this is all about. This is the numbers game. I'm looking at Gordy. That dude has got 294 book calls, 129 signed agreements, and 38 IRS. Our coach has got 39, 17, and 9. You're booking, and that means you're actually doing something. You don't have a confidence problem. Gordy, you don't have one either. By the way, I think your wife is probably kicking you to make you go out every day, and that's good motivation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to make sure we have time for questions. I will make sure I do my special announcements. So the last thing, because confidence is just such an important part of this, and it's like confidence is created on the field. It's not created thinking about it or reading books about it. You can't learn how to swim with your big toe in the water. You aren't going to get healthy reading about or watching other people do exercise. Confidence comes from action. And from talking to you in an email that you sent, we've only talked one time, but you said something about if people have an issue with confidence, then they need to do a sales blitz, was your term. Or they need to do team selling, role play with somebody else, maybe their spouse or whoever, and try methods, the different networking, prospecting ideas. But regarding the idea of a sales blitz, would you agree that if somebody pulls on 10 doors in a day, that they're going to be more confident with door number 10 than they are door number 1? Just this whole sales blitz concept, just speak to that, please, if you would.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to get up the bat, and I sucked at the first ball that went past me, right? My dad laughed. And the more I got up to bat, the better I got, right? And that's the secret to life, you guys. It's not about your MBA or your academics. I mean, that helps when you're young. It's just something I had to do. It's about going out and doing it, right? I was asking people, hey, have you had your ERC yet? Do you know what that is? It worked. But I've got another one, and I'm going to try next week. I help business owners find cash in their business. Really? What does that mean? It's vague, you guys. I don't want them to kick me out. I want them to listen to me. And I'll tell you why. There's a credit crunch. No flooring lines are offered, right?
That's right.
The banks aren't loaning money. And these guys don't even know it. There's $50,000 to $100,000 that you're going to get immediately to save you, pay yourself, or whatever. Then if he gets in, I'll tell him, have you ever thought about selling your business? I used to do this. It goes to your bottom line. It helps with the valuation. Do you want to talk more about this? All I do is just ask him a few more questions, an open probe or a closed probe, and then I close. Do you want to hear more about it? Then I have him talk to one of our guys and tell him, you can call me anytime you want for anything else. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to build relationships. I sell me. I don't sell ERC.
Awesome. So important. So important. We're going to come back with Roy and get all your questions answered. I got an announcement that I want to share with you. Dawn's going to help me do whatever I'm supposed to do here. I just click here. She's going to do it. So give us a second here. She won't let me touch the mouse. Okay, you guys see that slide? See the slide? Don't see the slide? Okay.
No.
Okay. They don't see the slide.
Okay. We see the slide that you started with today, Dale.
Cool. Okay. That's what you're supposed to see. Thank you. I think. Yeah. Okay. Special announcement. Yeah, I'm good. This cruise, we're planning on this being an annual event. Like every year, CMG goes on a cruise. That's how we're looking at this, and that's how we're planning it. And we're planning on shooting some video that's going to help us all over the next 5 years. Got a lot of good plans for this. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to do what I'm calling Saturday CMG Yank the Door promo. Some of you will be able to relate with this, because and I hope Vicki Karstner's here and she can speak to this. Some of you were around when we did this with the loot boxes. We did a blitz your town day. Some of you will remember that. There's people that broke out that day. And Vicki talks about, if you go back and listen to her interview, she said she got to her place and she was scared to death and she didn't know what to do. But it was during that Blitz the town day that we did a year or so ago. And she just told herself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and got out of the car and went in and made it happen. So we're going to do the same thing this Saturday, April 15th. Dale, you should have told us sooner, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I couldn't. There's reasons I'm doing it this way. But this Saturday, April 15th, we're doing a Yank the Door promotion. It's designed to help people get out of their comfort zone into a rhythm. And that rhythm, that confidence will help make 2023, I promise, the most profitable year of your life. One deal can be life-altering for people. And I am not exaggerating this much when I say there's people here with us tonight and they'll be watching this replay. If you just don't come up with excuses why you can't and decide why you can, this Saturday can be a day that will change your life because it'll put you on a completely different path. I've done this many times over the years. We have not done it since they came out with the ERC program, since we pivoted here. Now's the time, because now's the time. You still got 3/4 of a year to go. You still got time to make 2023 phenomenal. So here's what we're going to do. We're having a contest because I know all of you that listen to our podcast and hang out with us, you get that the real contest is between you and the person in the mirror, and not between you and other team members. The real contest is with ourselves. You all understand that. So in the spirit of that, we're going to have a winner this week at the end of this contest, at the end of Saturday. The winner's going to receive their cabin paid for on the CMG cruise. Okay, now, the target time for this is January 24th. That could change. January 2024, it could change. You're responsible for your spouse and or your children or a roommate. It's going to be double occupancy cabins, but we will pay for you and your cabin on this cruise if you win this contest. This is the only way you qualify to win. We will meet Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern. I know West Coast, that's 6:30 in the morning for me. I apologize. I get it. But we will meet at 9:30 Eastern on Saturday, this Saturday, April 15th, right here, DaleCalvertZoom.com, for approximately 30 minutes. It's going to basically be a roll call. You don't have to check in Saturday morning. You can send me an email as long as I have it by 9:30 on Saturday morning. You can send an email to Dale@DaleCalvert.com, just so I know you're participating, and you send me an email or you check in live here 9:30 Eastern Saturday. It has to be, you have to check in by 9:30 on Saturday. No exceptions. At 8 o'clock Saturday evening, Dale Calvert Zoom to report your numbers. Here's the only numbers we're going to be reporting: number of doors pulled, number of leads created. Here's what a lead is. If you talk to Sally at the front desk, that is not a lead. When you walk out of the business, you have the owner's name, the name of the business and the owner's name. That's a lead. If you walk out without the owner's name, it's not a lead. How do you get the owner's name? Follow the Columbo script. It's in your back office. We've talked about it multiple times. Between now and May 15th, the most leads from Saturday closed, call scheduled, means closed. That person is the winner. So we're doing it April 15th. You've got 1 month to get call scheduled from the leads that you book on Saturday. The leads only count if they're booked on Saturday. If it's somebody you talked to 2 months ago, they don't count toward the contest. So on Saturday, when we do the check-in, you'll say, I pulled 84 doors, I got 32 leads. Here's and you email in the business name and the owner. That business name and owner had to be created Saturday. From those people, the leads that you create on Saturday, the ones that you close within 30 days, close meaning they scheduled a call, they count towards your total. So the person that has the most calls booked from the leads they created Saturday is the winner. If there's a tie, the person with the most W-2s wins. So if somebody had 5 calls and somebody else had 5 calls booked, and one person had 48 W-2s and somebody had 400, the one with 400 is the winner. Again, the leads must be created and recorded, sent in. I need record of it Saturday, November 15th. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about the cruise. I'm beyond excited about the opportunity to do this every year, make this an annual thing. But we wanted to put a little bit of emotion behind this, some recognition behind this. If you have questions about this or questions for Roy, you can raise your hand and we will get to them right now.
Guys, he means April 15th, not November 15th.
Did I say November 15th?
Yeah. At the bottom, you did.
Oh, okay. That's, yeah, not surprising. Marilyn Cox.
But for those who are outside of the US,
Sorry. Yeah.
do you have a suggestion of how we can participate, even though I know that we,
Drive into Toronto.
pardon?
Drive into Toronto.
We mean to drive into,
drive across the bridge into the.
I don't have my passport updated.
Yeah. I mean, I just knew that was going to be the first question from somebody.
Right,
So
okay.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's like, if Philip had said, well, I'm in, we're in Costa Rica. What are we going to do? You're just out of luck. I'm sorry.
We're still gonna join. We're gonna use it to break out and cold call.
Cold call. This is all about yanking doors. Because that's what's working. That's what's working, guys. I mean, y'all see it. I see it. That's what's working.
They're still going to motivate themselves. That was what they were saying. They're going to use it to break out virtually.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah. If you can motivate a Tennessee fan, I mean, if that one song doesn't motivate him, nothing will. Did you ever hear that song? Good. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions for Mr. Roy? Alan, I see your hand.
Hey, Dale.
Yeah. Let's go with Alan, then Gordy, and then Shane. Alan Knight.
I'm excited to hear from Shane. Yeah, I didn't have a question, Roy. I appreciate you. I've always respected you as a professional. And at times, before I was a part of this team, maybe I was a little bit intimidated even because I just knew you were for real. And sometimes I've learned so much here that I didn't know when we first met even. And so I really respect you and I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing tonight because I think you really helped a lot of people with what you shared. And I'm excited to see what you're going to continue to do with this. So just respect you a lot. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Alan. And man, I'm telling you, you're intense. You haven't changed. You're still intense, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're all excited to see what Roy's going to do. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get him on early so people could watch what's getting ready to happen. Gordy, then Shane, then Gabe. Gordy.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I have no way to raise my hand because my phone is on safe driving mode and it's blanked me out or something. And I'm terrible at that stuff. But What about this, Dale? Not to bend the rules and put you on the spot, but if Marilyn and Philip could book more calls, because that's all they can do is cold call, they could document all their cold calls. Because I mean, quite frankly, I don't care how talented you are, you really don't have a chance against Roy and Dave and Kamala and Alan when they can pull on doors, but it'd let them be a part of the contest. And then, and I just want to say, Roy, you're a stud. I'm going to get your number from Alan and give you a call.
Yeah. No, that's not going to work. I'm not going to do it. And the reason I'm not going to do it, because if I allow them to make calls, I have to allow you to make calls, and you ain't going to make, you aren't.
Well, I'm with you, but I have to pull on doors because I'm in the States. I'm just saying they have no chance to
Yeah,
pull on
but
doors. So if you live in America, you
cold
don't.
calls works, then I have to let cold calls work for everybody. And I'm
I
not,
got you. I got you. I got you.
I've thought through this a little bit.
Okay, well, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, and see and as far as people being able to compete with whoever, you make up in numbers what you like in skill.
Yeah, and if we have some dead time, Kamala has a really good cold call story about a guy, and this is right in line with what Roy's saying. So like I said, I can't see the screen, I got nothing, but she and I had a wonderful conversation today, and she has a really good cold call story about a guy that didn't want to hear a word to say, and by the time she got done, she was getting somewhere. So that's up to her and y'all. I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, we heard that on the Zoom today, but I would love for her to share it with everybody. Shane Rogers, then Gabe, then Kamala.
Mr. Mesich, I just want to take a second and thank you. As I tell Dale all the time, I really appreciate the opportunity to hear from someone of your ability and to get the information, because you'd have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money to even be in the same room. So thank you for the information, sir, and wish you well. And Dale, as always, I appreciate the opportunity and all the information you give us on a daily basis, sir.
Yes, sir. Good to see
Thank
you
you.
tonight, Shane. Yeah. Gabe. Good to see you, Gabe. You're next. Got your hand.
I just wanted to say hello. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry for not being here much. Health hasn't been so good. I'm finally getting better. So getting back out to the grind, and you guys are going to see a lot more of me back on here.
Gracious, man. Good to have you. Good to have you, sincerely. So glad you're with us tonight. Glad you're getting better. Kamala.
Yes, I want to say thank you very much, Roy. There was a lot that helped me. Just, it was wonderful. And I greatly appreciate the opportunity to meet you on here and hopefully see you soon. But thank you so much for some great information.
Absolutely.
You know, years ago, I hired a bunch of folks right out of college to go into direct sales, and they were cold. They were free. They were just scared as all heck. And they weren't making the activity levels to make their quota. And my only option is to terminate them because they're employees. And I didn't think it was right as a leader and a mentor. So I put in place these team selling sales blitz, and I'd go out with them. And then I'd have them work with other guys and double team it, right? Because we're not competing. We're a family. We're working together to make quota. I didn't have to terminate anyone. I did my job. I brought them out. And these are years ago. Some of these guys grew up to be very successful people, and they're still using cells. So, you know, it's what we're obligated to do. We should be helping folks.
Absolutely.
Try it.
Absolutely. B, then Carlos. B. Baylor.
Right here.
Yes.
Roy, did I hear you say that you're taking care of your mom and finding time to do this business? You are impressive. I am taking care of my mother. It was a shift in February, and
Yeah.
I'm now just getting my mindset back into the business. Kudos to you, because if you can do it, I can too.
Well, I'm also a caretaker for her dog, and her dog's got some issues. So they're
That's
driving me
even
nuts,
better.
but that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But salute. my prayers.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Awesome. Carlos.
Hey Roy, I just wanted to take the time and say thank you for, sharing, and it helps to hear from a actual salesperson, to get over those fear obstacles and all of that. But yeah, thank you for taking the time.
Hey, Carlos, we've all been there. We've all been there. And the only difference is some of us jump out and just try to learn something new, and don't be hard on yourself. So do this thing, just try it. Just go out. And if it doesn't work, tell everyone it doesn't work, and we'll try plan B. We'll throw a bunch of other options. Dale, he's open to listening. So just give it a try.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
Good to have you with us, Carlos. Anybody else?
Thanks, Dale.
Yeah. Anybody else? Bobby, Mr. Gandy.
Figure out this computer thing here.
There you go.
Hey, Roy, curious about, congratulations on your success, of course. And just like everyone else, thank you for taking the time to share your insight with us. What type of schedule are you doing? Do you have any set schedule that you're doing during the day? Are you just picking certain times? Can you explain that a little bit and expand on it?
Yeah, Bobby, I'm going to tell you the right answer, and then I'm going to give you the Roy answer, okay? The right answer is you take a calendar, and I have one. You take your prospecting binder, and I've got flyers. I'm not really cold calling. I'm just communicating and handing out flyers. I mark out my time, and I put a goal every day, how many I want to do and what my goals are. At the end of the day, I buy myself a treat, whether it's Starbucks or anywhere else, and I sit there and think about it and go, that was great. I'm a genius, or boy, that sucked. What's wrong with me, right? And I modify it. Now I'm going to tell you the real answer, because I don't want to misrepresent anything. I'm kind of retired, kind of taking care of mom and her dog. And, I'm having fun. So I go out and do this to meet people. And the reason I do this is because I'm building a database, because in the future, this is my residual program, B2B, right? And this is why I'm doing this. I'm just picking up cards, talking to people. I look like a crazy guy when I walk in. I've got a great story, and they listen. And some of them don't, and I don't have a problem with it. I go to the next guy. So take the right answer about scheduling your time, unless you're like me and you're, hey, you're retired and you're having fun. And today I'm going to pick up 40 cards. I'm going to get one deal. I'm not going to come home until I get a deal. Could be Tuesday, could be Wednesday. I got to tell you guys, I go to the gym 3 days a week and I buff out, baby. I walk 6 days a week, right? And I walk my mom 7 days a week with her dog, right? So, I don't want to misrepresent who I am. I'm this almost 68-year-old guy, and I'm no stress, and I'm having fun. Take plan A or plan B. It's up to you.
Thanks, Guy. Appreciate it. Thanks so
You bet.
much.
Dave Trilogy, then we'll jump on the corporate call, guys. And I will see all of you Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern, right here. Dave Trilogy.
Roy, thanks so much for confirming what those of us that are pulling doors are doing. Like, Dale says, and he's right, just pulling doors, but it's great to have someone of your stature and experience to come on and say, yeah, that's what you got to do is pull doors. Thank you very much.
We're not selling anything, you guys. The only close you're going to have is, do you want to talk to this guy? Do you want your money back? Let me do it. That's your close. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're not selling them anything. Dave?
Hey, Dale, can I jump in here?
Sure.
Like I said, I'm sorry I'm being rude, but one thing Dale has told us all for years, I've been hearing from him for 30 years, is you have to learn to enjoy the ride, because if you don't, you're not going to stay with it. And I'm telling you, this Roy, man, he has figured out how to enjoy the ride. He said what we need to do if we're not in his spot, but if we're in his spot, because if Roy was doing what he said, if he had the calendar and the flyer, and if he kept track of all that stuff, he might not be enjoying the ride, so he wouldn't do anything. So he knows where he is in life. So he's operating where he can enjoy the ride. Plus, he's got phenomenal skills, so he's going to have phenomenal results with a lot less effort than most of us. But you got to enjoy the ride.
You got it, Gordy.
Yep. Enjoy the ride this year, and we'll all enjoy the cruise in January. See you guys on the corporate call. Then we'll see you, what'd I say, 9:30 Saturday morning? 9:30 Saturday morning. Be ready to get your head right. And if the thought of doing that Saturday scares you to death, make sure you're here Saturday.
You need to do it. Yeah.
It's for you. Is Vicky on here? Vicky Carstner? Vicky, if you are, come off mute and just confirm what I just said about what the Blitz did for you. She might not be here tonight. Okay.
I haven't seen her here, Dale.
Okay. But guys, it's so important. When I say Saturday can change your life, I mean it. I really, really mean it. It can put you on a different path. And you're going to be out there with a bunch of other scaredy cats. And we'll all support each other. And we'll all tell the story Saturday night at 8 o'clock. This works. I've done it for years. Some of you know, some of you were with us when we were doing this 30 years ago. These blitzes work, but you got to be active part of it before it's going to work for you. So I'm just hoping that you guys decide, I'm just going to step out and I'm going to do it. And I'll see you Saturday morning. Thanks for being here, Roy. You did phenomenal. Phenomenal. So important. Good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale and Roy. Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks,
guys, y'all
Dale.
have a
Thanks,
great one.
Roy.
See some of you tomorrow at noon.
Good job, Roy. Night.
Good night.
Right on.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
All right.